Zendesk Setup Complete Guide for Fintech. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up Zendesk so you make sure you capture all the leads and all the support requests, nothing gets left behind, your agents will be able to see tickets, solve them, and your customers will feel appreciated and they will come back for more. I'm doing this video for Fintech. There's so many industries out there. I have done over 350 projects throughout my 12-year experience with Zendesk, and I have not once just came across a similar project. Like, every project was from the same industry, but it was all a little bit different. Now, before I jump into Zendesk to show you how to set it up, I have to clarify something with you. If you don't ask yourself these questions first, then Zendesk is not even going to be worth it for you. It's just a tool. So, what is your customer experience strategy? What am I actually solving with Zendesk? It's a pretty expensive tool nevertheless. Here's some examples that will help you think to navigate this arduous process, which is customer experience. I need to have all my requests centralized into one system so I can keep an eye out on the customer experience. I need to improve my customer satisfaction. I need to sell more to my existing customers. I need to stop losing so many customers. Now, if you are a business owner or a customer service manager or a customer experience manager, or somebody setting up Zendesk, then this video is for you. Okay, step number 1, define your business requirements. Now, if you can see my screen, I have here an Excel sheet, which we use. This is our bread and butter. We always start from here. Now, this is going to help you understand your business requirements. It's going to help you answer those questions that I mentioned a little bit earlier with what is your customer experience strategy. This is also very important because once you set up Zendesk, you will see if you are achieving these goals. So, very quickly, you need a summary statement, you need a project scope of what the project is about, goals and objectives, your needs statement, your project requirements, you identify your stakeholders, then strengths and weaknesses and limitations, and of course, deadline. I'm able to share this document with you. Just let me know in the comments if you really need it. Next step is to define your use cases. Now, if you can see my screen again, in the same spreadsheet, I have this tab which is called use cases. I'm going to walk you through these columns and these rows to make more sense for you. So this is created by me, by Dominic. Is this a global use case? Is it an internal use case? What department has to deal with this one? The name of the use case, and then who are the actors? It's going to be your end users or your customers, and then an agent or an admin or light agent or whatever. Some preconditions look. So I'm writing for all the channels that I have going to be enabling in my system. I have, for example, a messaging, and step by step, this is going to be a customer wanting a new account, so a new user account. So customer lands on the website and engages with our widgets. So this is an inbound message that creates a ticket in Zendesk. The system does it automatically. Customer receives a message if they write outside of business hours. This is a trigger that lets them know, hey, we're outside of business hours. We'll be back when we come. We'll be back at 9 a.m. the next day. AI recognizes customer intent and assigns it to the correct group. This is also a trigger. Ticket appears in the correct view for agents to pick up. And then agent assigns ticket to themselves or assign it to someone else. Okay, I know for a fact that if you're only starting out with Zendesk, it's difficult for you to recognize this Zendesk lingo, which is trigger, view, automation, macro, etc. So first, what you need to do is to relax, take it easy, and you need to get yourself familiarized with this terminology. It takes a few days for you to understand exactly what everything means. You don't have to be an expert on this. You just have to write it as you understand it, and somebody else will make sense of it for you. But if you want to be very granular, you can do it this way. You don't have to write all the Zendesk lingo. Just put yourself in the shoes of somebody writing to you, and then you put yourself in the shoes of the agent that's going to respond, and that's going to make your job hard. But fortunately, you can ask for help. Next step is to open a Zendesk account. Go for Zendesk Professional. This is my recommendation. Don't go for the most expensive one. Don't go for the cheapest one. Go for the Professional. Very good, very chic. Okay, if you can see my screen, I'm on the Zendesk website, so I'm just going to go on start your free trial. Just put in here my email, and then I check in for the consent, and then I start my free trial. All right, great. What is your first name? My name is Dominic, and then I'm going last name is going to be CX guy. What's your phone number? Well, I'm not going to give it to you because I don't want you to call me. What company do you work for? That work. Next, how many employees? 1 to 9. Next, English. Thank you so much. And then lastly, create a password, complete trial and setup. Okay, now all I have to do is to go to my inbox and confirm that this is an actual human. Okay, so now I've confirmed my email, so if you can see my screen again, get started in minutes. Okay, so company name, company website, no thank you, not now. Yes, set up auto response, please. Okay, so it's going to say, we received your request, and then the auto response says, thanks for reaching out. Our team is looking at if you need help with anything. Yes, I like to give the ticket ID. This is good. And then next, and then save. All right, so now I have some tooltips to help me, to give me some guidance. By all means, just read these. You're going to get used to the Zendesk terminology, and it's going to be very useful for you. Okay, next step is going to be to enable the email channel. Whatever you do in Zendesk, it doesn't really matter what channels you offer support in, you will always have to default back to email. For example, imagine somebody calls you and then you're not able to solve their request. You need to follow up via email. Same thing for chat. If you don't solve the request then and there with chat, then you're going to have to follow up via email. Hey, following up, need to help you finish that onboarding, or need to help you, help you buy more. Okay, so let's go to the 4 squares here at the top right, and then go to admin center. Then we go to channels here on the left, and then we scroll down and we go to email here, talk and email. By default, Zendesk creates an email for you, and it's this one, support@rokawork, that they created for us, but we want to add another one, and you can add an external email address, which I assume you do, or you can create a new Zendesk address, which is what I'm going to do. Now, the idea of connecting an external address is depending on your email server. Gmail, very easy, very fast, very quick, and I recommend it, but of course not everybody has Gmail. Now, if you have any other email, it depends on your email server and the configurations you need to do, but it's always the same. You have to set up DNS, so domain name servers, to allow Zendesk to send and receive emails on your behalf. It's not very complicated. There's an article about it on the Zendesk community page, and somebody who's done the email setup on your side will know how to do it after they have read that article. But now we're just going to create a new Zendesk address, and we're going to call it care@rokawork. Finish. Good. Now I'm going to go and edit this bad boy, and I'm going to call it Roka Support. That. The address is going to be care@rokawork, and then the name that the customer will see whenever they receive an email from us is going to be Roka Support. It can be something else as well. This is pretty much done to be able to send and receive emails on your behalf. From a customer experience perspective, it's not okay to have Zendesk in your email. So if you can see here, I have .zendesk.com. People don't know what Zendesk is, and nor should they. They're just customers. And if they see this, they might think this is spam. And I recommend that somebody in your email team make sure to insert your email addresses. We can also help. It's not very difficult. The next step is to create a group or a department in Zendesk. A group in Zendesk is a department, is how you group your customers depending on company functions, depending on areas, depending on languages they speak. It can be tech support, it can be sales support, which we will create. It can be billing, it can be finance, it can be order, it can be whatever you want. Okay, so let's add it to the system. I'm going to go to my 4 squares here. I'm going to go to admin center, and then I'm going to go here to people. And if you can see here, team, I have team members and groups. First, I'm going to add a group. So by default, Zendesk creates a group for me. This is the support default group, and I'm going to add a group. This one I'm going to call sales support. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, the use case is to cater to leads and support requests in Fintech. So the support group is going to handle support requests, and then sales is going to cater to my leads. So this group or department will receive sale inquiries, and they will follow up to try to close the customer. And of course, if you can't sell to these leads right now, you nurture them until they're potentially ready to buy in the future. All right, so sales support, no description necessary. I'm not going to set this one up as default. I'm going to let the other one be as default. Default group means that if you ever delete this sales group, the tickets that were assigned to this group will automatically just go to the default group. Now I'm going to add somebody from my team. It's just going to be me for now, adding this person in the group, and then I'm going to click save, and I'm done. Next step is to create a custom field called contact reason. Think about custom fields in Zendesk as a way for you to collect information from your customer in order to help them solve the request and what you want to see in reports at the end of the month. Now, contact reason or type of request is a custom field that will help you understand what customers are reaching out with in your system. It will help your agents get more context, and it will help you as a manager, business owner, get an idea of how many tickets have come into the system and what problems customers have with you. The only way to improve. Okay, so let me go to my 4 squares here, just admin center. And then I'm going to go to objects and rules, and I'm going to go to fields. And by default, I have some fields in here already created, and I'm going to leave them as they are because I like them. So I'm going to go to add a field, and I'm going to choose drop down. This one I'm going to call contact reason. All right. I'm going to click here to require to solve a ticket. So an agent cannot solve this ticket unless they choose a reason what this thing was. In the permissions, I want customers can edit as well because I might want to ask them to fill out a form, so they will also be able to see it and fill it out. Title shown to customers, I'm going to say the same, contact reason. And the reason for this is because you need to have everything unitary, so it makes sense. So you don't have to remember, like, what did I call it for agents? What did I call it for end users or customers? Everything needs to be nice and tight and neatly organized. And I'm going to require to submit a request as well. Now for the field values, I'm going to add in here what I usually normally support or what I offer as a product. So look, in this case, because we are a fintech, we're going to say credit cards, we're going to say debit cards, we're then going to say mortgage, I'm going to say personal finance, I'm going to also say tech support, and people having problems with my app, either online app or whatever app. And then I'm going to add another one, which is something else. Now, this is all going to create tags for you. Tags are very important because you'll be able to create business rules, you'll be able to create reports. I don't recommend using the tags for this purpose. I recommend using them for business rules or when integrating with other systems so you're easy to identify tickets. Okay, default value I'm just going to ignore. I'm going to go to save and I'm done. Next step, create a form and add the contact reason. Okay, so now back in Zendesk, I'm going to go to the 4 squares, admin center, and I'm going to go to objects and rules, and I'm going to go to forms. I have a default form. I'm going to leave it as it is because I like it, and I'm going to just rename it to something else. I'm going to call it how may we help you? How may we help? Form, and then title shown to end users. This is the same. And by default, I have these fields in my form, and I have also had added the contact reason for me, which is great. Zendesk knows that I don't have multiple forms, so I might want to have this directly in my form. So it's here, it's ready to go. I'm just going to save it and I'm done. Next step is to enable the web widget. The web widget is a Zendesk channel. This Zendesk channel includes AI, chat, getting predefined answers, filling out a form, and multiple other functionalities that you can include in this widget. By default, I recommend you use it as a chat widget that also has an AI component on top of it. In our case, we're going to set it up, we're going to customize it a little bit, and then we're going to enable it on our website. And then later on, we create a flow which is called request callback, in order to encourage people to leave us their phone number so we can call them, so we can try this out. Okay, now the 4 squares, I'm going to go to admin center and I'm going to go to channels. So it's a little bit confusing. It's called messaging. So messaging, I made a video about it and you can see it in the description of this video, what that actually means and everything that you can do and not do in it. So I won't insist on that right now. As you can see, I already have here a widget set up for me, which is great. Zendesk does it by default. For now, I'm just going to focus on this widget that Zendesk already has created for me. And as you can see here, I have the name, and then I have a channel, which is the web widget. And now I'm just going to go and click this baby, and it's just going to guide me, start with the basics. The brand, I only have one, the one that I created. Work. Channel name Roka Work. I like this. I'm just going to give it capital letters because that's nicer. Now, this is by default recommended that you let your customers know that you have a privacy and that you're tracking their activity. By default, the Zendesk recommends that you leave a privacy notice to let customers know that you're tracking them, that you know that they are on your websites, and that you are, seeing some insights into how much time they spent. Blah blah blah. This is standard stuff nowadays, and it's very good practice. Now, the most important parts of setting up the widget is this embed code, which is an amazing bit of technology. I'll be honest, it's just an embed code, if you will, and you have to copy this and paste it before closing the body tag in the HTML of your website. It's nothing very complicated. I'm going to show you just for demo purposes, like how we do it on our Squarespace website. This is our Squarespace website, and if I go to website tools, and then I go to code injection. It's not relevant to you, but I just go like this and then I save it up. And if you can see my website here on the right, it's already there, it's active, it looks amazing, and you're ready to go essentially. Okay, if you don't know how to do this, email it to a team member and they will know how to do it, no worries. Okay, the next step is going to be to make it your own. Give it a nice color. I'm going to give it like this bluish hue because it's closer to what we do. Let's call it Roca Support. And then I can put my logo, which I will. Just put that. Doesn't look very good, but you get the point. Next. Okay, now I have some additional setup. I can add my Instagram, I can add my Facebook, I can add my WhatsApp, and I highly recommend that you add these as well, because everything will centralize into Zendesk and it's going to make a nice experience for your customer. The great thing about this widget is if you have WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, customer can continue the conversation in either one of them. So they can start the conversation on your widget and then they can say, you know what, I'm actually leaving my computer, I'm just going to continue from WhatsApp, and then they get a link and then they continue the conversation on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook messaging, and it's amazingly efficient. Okay, now scrolling down a bit, I'm going to go to the style. So I'm going to leave everything as it is. You can, customize, play around with this, make it nicer, have a designer look at this if you want. Now I'm going to scroll down to responses. So business hours, I'm going to set that up as a schedule a little bit later in the video. Now my responses during business hours, hi, how can I help you today? I'm going to leave it as it is. So now customer details. What I want is their name and I want their email as well. And you know what else I want? I want the contact reason. Why did you reach out to us today? How may we help you? Now this tells you to add an AI agent. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to leave it for now. In authentication, this is very important for me to tell you. I want to have forget history. So each time I come to the website, I want to start a fresh conversation. Otherwise, if it remembers the history, it will just have a continuous conversation, which is good for the end user, very confusing for you as a business, because it's going to feel like it's a conversation with friends and family if you remember history, but you won't know when the ticket ends and where it starts. And it's very confusing because people will ask 5 questions about different topics, which you'd want to have a different ticket for. I recommend you go with forget history and just start fresh each time. I think it's much better for your reporting as well. Now I'm just going to save this up and I'm done. Okay, next step is to set up omnichannel routing. So I'm going to go to my admin center. I have a whole video about how to set this up, and it's a very difficult topic to comprise into one very short description, but let's do our best and we're going to use queues. So we're going to go to objects and rules and we're going to go to omnichannel routing configuration. We're going to leave this one as it is, just going to edit it up, and we're going to say first, prioritize tickets with the service SLAs, so service level agreements. Yes, please. I want tickets that have SLAs that are being breached to, get the attention first. Assignment method, I'm going to go with round robin. I like this one more. Turn on skill-based routing, not for now. Turn on focus mode, no. Turn on reassignment for reopen tickets. Yes, thank you. I want that to happen because if somebody reopens the ticket, I don't want the same agent to have to respond because maybe they go home, so somebody else has to deal with it. So for email, I'm going to go for away and I'm going to go for transfers only. So if people reopen the tickets and the agent is away, I want somebody else to take this over. And for messaging, same thing. If they're away or if they have transfers only, I want them to, the customers to still get a good experience because somebody will jump in and say, hey, Timothy is out. I'm going to click this one, reassign tickets through queues, because you'll see in a second why. I'm going to not check this one out. Message routing, I'm going to go with a reassign if agent doesn't accept within the time limit, because again, I want my customer to have a good experience so they don't wait too long. And then this one, count inactive conversation towards an agent capacity. I'm not going to enable it because it's just going to keep agents busy and it doesn't make any sense. Save. Then I'm going to go to queues. Now, very quickly, I'm going to create a queue. So the one that I'm most interested in is sales inquiries. So name, this is going to be the sales queue. Description, queue priority. So this is you can choose from 1 to 100, 1 being the most important, 100 being the least important. I'm going to say the tickets that need most attention first is going to be the sales inquiries because it's time sensitive. And I'm going to say 1. And in conditions, I'm going to say meet all the following conditions. I'm going to say the ticket is created. And then in any condition, I'm going to say put all of the contact reasons that are related to sales. Now, this is available only once because the ticket is created only once. So this is what I want all of these conditions to apply. Now, either one of these is going to count as true. It can be one or it can be the other. I'm going to say contact reason is credit card. I'm going to say again, contact reason is debit cards. Contact reason is going to be mortgage, and then going to be another one. Contact reason is personal finance. So these are very important to me. I want to make sure that I sell. Primary groups for this, I'm going to say sales support, and then secondary groups, no. And then capacity rules, I'm going to leave them as default as they are. In my case, for example, you can see email. I can handle 5 emails at the same time, and I can handle messaging, like 3 chats at the same time, and talk, of course, just 1 call at the same time. And the final thing that I want to do now is to have manage settings here, and I'm going to leave it for now in here, which it says queue-based routing. It's very good. I'm going to leave it as it is because it's great. And now I'm done. Next step is to enable a schedule. A schedule is for you to make sure that you cater to customers whenever you're in the office, right? If you're outside of business hours, if you're home, or if you don't give coverage in whatever area, you need to make sure that customers know that and create some business rules to make sure that your customer is informed. Am I able to get attention now or later? Make sure that you're transparent. Good customer experience means that you set the right expectations. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my 4 squares, top right, admin center. All right, so I'm going to go to objects and rules, and I'm going to go to schedules, business rules, schedules. All right, so I'm going to add a new schedule. Call this one hour availability. By default, with professional, you only have 1 schedule. If you want multiple, you need to upgrade to enterprise. I'm going to choose my time zone. I'm going to say Eastern time, US and Canada, and then 9 to 5. By default, it's selected to 9 to 5. I like that. On Friday, I have a shorter schedule until, let's say, 3 p.m. That works. And then I'm going to have to add in a holiday. Add a holiday. Let's call this Christmas. And then start date. This is early in the year, but it's a Thursday, so we have to add it. Confirm. Save. Perfect. I'm done. By the way, if you enjoy the content, I'd be really grateful if you subscribe to this YouTube channel and you let me know what you think in the comments, and I will get back to you. I'd be really grateful, and thank you so much. Now let's add a trigger for out of office business hours. So let's go to our 4 squares, admin center, then go to objects and rules, and then scroll down to triggers. By default, I have 7 triggers already created, and this is going to be notifications to notify your customer the request has been received, to notify your agents that the request has been received, so they get to work. Some of them are overkill, and in my experience, I just want to turn off notify assignee of assignment, notify assignee of a open ticket, notify all agents of received request. This one is overkill because if you have too many notifications, nobody will pay any attention to any of them. So this one I'm just going to deactivate for now. Also, by default, I have a trigger which sets tickets priority to normal. I will walk you through that in a little bit later on. So now I'm going to go to create a trigger out of office notification. Trigger category, I'm going to put it in notifications. And now in all of these conditions, I'm going to say ticket is created. Ticket is created. I'm going to say current user is end user. I want to make sure that this request comes from a customer of ours. If an agent creates a ticket, this shouldn't apply. Ticket has public comments. Privacy is ticket has public comments. Again, if an agent creates a ticket and it's an internal note, I don't want this to apply. This is essentially doubling down if this is a customer or not. Now comes the part where we tie in with the schedule. So call it within business hours. It's called no. Okay, now I finished up all my conditions. Now I'm going to scroll down to actions and I'm going to go for notify by. I'm going to say user email, recipient. It's going to be ticket, and then it's going to be requester and CC. So email subject is going to be we are out of office. Dear, and they're going to put double colon to activate the placeholders in Zendesk. I'm going to say ticket dot requester dot first name. So this always takes their first name. We are currently out of office. Our regular office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. EST. We will happily get back to you when we will be back in the office. Kindly, and I'm going to go create a trigger, and it's done. Now what you have to do is to create another one for holidays. Exactly the same, repeat it and say if it's on holiday, then send them a special message and say, we're actually out of office due to holidays. Next step is to create a simple AI flow. In our case, we're going to ask the customer to leave their phone number so we can call them. We want leads and we want to follow up on leads. All right, I'm in my Zendesk and I'm going to go to my 4 squares here, admin center. I'm going to go to channels. I'm going to go to AI agents. I'm going to go to this one for messaging, manage AI for agents, and then I'm going to create an AI agent. I'm going to call this one Roca Support Bot. The tone of voice of this one, I'm going to say enthusiastic, please. Then I'm going to click next. Roca Work. My help center isn't available yet, and I should go to brands to enable it. So let's do that. Let's go to account and let's go to brands and get started. And then we're going to scroll down here where it says help center. We're going to click create. We're going to allow this thing to think for a few seconds as it goes to space and then comes back. I don't know if any of you watch Louis C.K., but that's a joke from him. The last thing I have to do about the help center is to go in here in its guide admin settings and just click activate. Now I'm going to refresh the screen to see if it came to its senses. And voila, now it works. Now click next. Testing your AI agent. Go to publish. And it asks me, where do you want to enable this on? What channels? We only have one. We're very lucky. We're going to click this one, Publish AI Agent. Now, as long as we're here, let's go to language and let's ask it to have the default language in English and then translate messages. And then in here, where it says to choose set language for translation, you choose whatever is relevant for you. I'm going to choose Danish in this case. And brands and channels, it's the same. And that's it. I'm just going to go here, Publish AI Agent again. Now I go through the options in here and I say greeting response. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Add option to talk to a human, yes. And then after AI agent replies, also add the option to talk to a human. I highly recommend this because people still like to talk to people. If AI agent can't solve the answer, especially this time around, just add them the ability to talk to a human. Now the escalation, so what we actually need for this use case. So responses, look, I have in here my availability, right? So the one that we created in our schedule. And in responses, during business hours, a message, leave your details so we can get back to you later. Leave your details along with the phone number so we can contact you later. Customer details, name, email, and in this case, look, we only have the contact reason. I'm going to add this one as well, but we need to create another custom field for phone number. So let's do that real quick. So let's go to objects and rules and then go to fields, and then we add a field, and this one is going to be a number. It has to be a phone number. Phone number. Customers can edit as well. Required salt ticket, no. Customers title shown to customers. Phone number, same thing. And then we save it up. We refresh our screen because that's what a good admin does in Zendesk. And then we go back to our channels. We go back to AI agents. And by the way, I recommend that you upgrade to advanced AI. I could have created this as an answer using the flow builder in Zendesk, which is an advanced feature. It's not necessarily available just in that upgrade, but it's nevertheless not available in the standard trial that you get. So you don't get as much functionality as you would in a normal environment. But anyway, let's get back to our behavior here, and we'll go back to escalations, and then scroll down to customer details. Have the phone number. By the way, it didn't work with number, so I had to create a text field. So it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's a text field which contains numbers as well. I don't know. Zendesk limitation. Add it here. And then we go up and then we say publish AI agent, and it's ready to go. Next step is to add a trigger to categorize requests and add priority. By default, tickets come into Zendesk and they have no priority, they have no categorization, nada. So you want to categorize them, and depending on the category that they're in, you can assign priority. Some requests are more urgent than others, and some customers require more attention than others. So let's go and create a trigger for people who are asking for a mortgage, shall we? So let's go to our 4 four squares and then to admin center. And we're going to go to objects and rules. I'm going to scroll to business rules triggers. And we're going to say create trigger, please. We're going to say mortgage tickets categorization and high priority. Ticket category. This is part of a new category. And this one we're going to call categorization. Meet all of the following conditions. So ticket is created. So this one I'm going to leave as it is. So meet any of the following conditions. So I'm going to use if the ticket is created and any of these conditions is true, then assign it the category and add a priority. So any of these conditions, I'm going to say contact reason is mortgage. Somehow I detected it is mortgage. By the way, I would recommend you use advanced AI to categorize requests with intents. So that's something which the AI does for you, so you don't have to do this manual process that I'm doing right now. Okay. We're going to say, okay, ticket contact reason is mortgage. We're going to say if a keyword mortgage is contained within the subject line or the comment of a ticket, then say it's, ticket contact reason is mortgage. So let's say subject line, subject text contains mortgage. We're going to say comment text operator contains the word mortgage. Then we're going to say actions. We're going to say contact reason is mortgage, and then priority is high. Create trigger. And we're done. Now you have to repeat the process for all of the other categories that you have in your system. And my best practice recommendation is to get the advanced AI from Zendesk. You create this once, and then the AI just looks for these keywords and it does it by itself. You don't have to create these triggers. The AI is smart and sees also typos and recognizes them, and it's pretty cool. So yeah. Maybe want to step up in 2025? Yeah. By the way, if you need help with this, scan this QR code and you can get an idea for pricing on how we can work together. So potentially I'll see you soon. Next step is to add a view to see your sales leads. So let's go. A view in Zendesk is a folder essentially where you can keep your files or your tickets. This is a way for you to filter out different kinds of tickets so you can spot them and then you can action on them. We want to make sure that no tickets slip through the cracks so no customer is left unattended. So if you can see my screen, I'm here in Zendesk, and if on the left hand side, by default, I have some views already created for me and they are pretty good already. So unsolved tickets that have been assigned to me, I like this one. Unassigned tickets in the system, amazing, very good. I want to keep an eye out on tickets that don't have somebody dealing with them. And then all unsolved tickets. These three I like because these three views cover everything. You just see everything in the system. You have an overview. Obviously, the more you have in the system, the more you need to go granular. So now let's go and add a personalized one. Let's go to the four squares here. Let's go to admin center, and then we go to workspaces, and then we go here to views, and then we go to add a view. And then we say sales inquiries, and we're going to go double colon, which is going to create a nested view, which I'm going to show you in just a second what it means. So let's create one for mortgages. Any agent, the visibility, who has action, any agents, conditions. I'm going to say status category is less than solved. So this means that everything above solved. So everything in pending, open, and new is going to appear in here. I'm going to say contact reason is mortgage. All right, nice. And then I'm going to scroll down here in formatting options, and I have ticket status, satisfaction, and then I have subject, requester, request date, assignee. And I also want to add SLA. Next SLA breach, please. Yes, let's put it here at the top. These ones are good. I'm going to leave it as they are. Save. All right, so now if I go back to my Zendesk support and I refresh my screen like a good admin, in the views here on the left, I can see sales inquiries. And first one, see, mortgages. And then if I add double colon, and any other of my options like credit cards, personal finance, etc., they're going to appear here. And now repeat for all of your other inquiries. Next step, create an automation in Zendesk to chase your customers. It is good practice to follow up with customers to make sure that they're taken care of if they still need help. In Zendesk, you have status new, open, which means that you have to do something. And in pending, this means that you are waiting for an answer from the customer. Customers forget, and it's good practice to follow up and say, hey, do you still need help? Or we will solve this for you. All right, so let's go to the four squares, and then go to admin center, and then go to objects and rules, and then go to automations. And then let's go to add automation, pending, and we're going to call this one chase customer when ticket is pending. We're going to say meet all of these conditions. Hours since status category pending. Not going to use calendar. We're going to use business because we already have our schedule set and we use business hours is greater than. I'm going to chase customers after 2 business days. Like if they haven't gotten back to me, I'm going to chase them and say, hey, please let me know if you still need help. Greater than 16 hours. I'm going to say ticket privacy. Ticket has public comments. I want to make sure that this is a customer that has gotten back to me and is an actual human. It's not an agent created ticket, so I don't, follow up with agents and say, hey, you know what? It's still us. You have something to do. Now I'm going to create a tag. This is a nullifying condition, and I'm going to explain very quickly what this is about. Let me just go here and say tag ticket tags. Ticket tags contain none of the following. Chase 2 days. Call it like that. And then in perform these actions, I'm going to say user email requester and CCs. Kindly let us know if you still need help. Hi. And then ticket requester, ticket.requester, first name. We have an open case with you. And then we put ticket ID, and we'd like to know if you still need help. Kindly let us know if you still need help. Best wishes, Roca team. All right, and now I'm going to create this automation, and I got a fail. Look. Automation could not be created. An automation that runs multiple times per ticket is not allowed. Okay, so this is a nullifying condition that I said earlier. So in our case, this will run in a loop after 16 hours. So if the customer hasn't gotten back to us within 16 hours, and then the automation runs every hour. So on hour 17, it's going to go once. And then in hour 18, it's going to write another message. And then in hour 19, it's going to write another message. So this means it's going to run in a loop, and that's a very bad customer experience. So the nullifying condition is this tag here. Tag contains none of the following, chase 2 days, and then I'm going here below and I'll say add the tag and then chase 2 days. Now, each time the automation runs after 16 hours and it sees this tag, it's just going to say, I've been here before. Bye. And that's it. You're done. Create automation. I recommend you create an automation to chase your agents as well, though, to keep them accountable. Like, hey, you've had a open ticket for, I don't know, longer than 2 days. Are you sure you don't want to do something to it? Okay, next step. Build an SLA policy for first reply time and next reply time. SLAs, or service level agreements, are very important to keep you accountable to your customer. So your customer buys from you with a promise that you will get back to them, after they bought something from you. Either within a day, either within an hour, either within a few minutes, either within a few weeks. I don't know. That depends on use case to use case. But for fintech, I know it's like a day or two at least, and maybe like a few hours to get back to them to acknowledge that you are actually looking into it. Okay, so let's go to our 4 squares here in admin center, and then we scroll down to objects and rules, and then we go down to service level agreements, and then we create a policy. We call this one SLA benchmark. Then we go to define the scope, conditions, meet all of the conditions, and we're going to go to ticket, and then we go to brand. Brand is our brand. That's it. Next, because we want all tickets to fall under this category, at least for now. Reply metrics, first reply time and next reply time. First reply time. All right, so urgent requests. We want this to be 2 hours, not calendar. We want this to be business hours. High priority is going to be 4 hours, and then normal is going to be 6, and then low priority is going to be 8 hours. And let's do business for all of these. All right, nice. And if we scroll down, we're going to choose this one when any ticket is created for an end user with a public comment. We're going to check this one out. When a light agent forwards an email from an end user to create a ticket, yes, please, because we want that too. And the last one, no, because agents can keep themselves accountable. They're not babies and they will know what to do. And then we do add. And then we add another target. We say next reply time. And then for this one, we're going to do the same. 2, 4, low priority 6 hours. And then for this one, for the low priority, I'm going to say 16. And I'm going to go not calendar, business rather, because we work with business hours. Okay, save, and then save policy. As a bonus step, let's create an automation to keep agents accountable. So when these break, agents get a notification saying, hey, you're screwing it up. All right, so let's go to objects and rules, and then we go to automations, and then we say add automation, chase assignees for SLA breach. Okay, let's see, meet all of these conditions, and we say status category is less than solved. We're going to say ticket hours until next SLA breach. Business is 1, so there's 1 hour before the SLA is being breached. And we're going to say perform these actions. We're going to say send an email, group email, or user email. We're going to say assignee, this ticket's SLA is being breached. Hi, dear agent. This ticket SLA is close to being breached. And we're going to say double colon, ticket.url. So agent can, very quickly click and go. Please do something to it so the customer experience is amazing. Kindly management. All right. Create automation, and we're done. Next step and final one is to enable customer satisfaction to collect feedback. I can't stress how important it is to collect feedback from your customer. I know that it's sometimes maybe alluding to the idea to not collect feedback for some type of request because customers are kind of getting pissed because they are getting mediocre service. Well, that's precisely why you have to measure, because otherwise you just collect untrue data. You just collect confirming biases, just feeds into your bias of, yeah, we're doing a good job, but you're actually not. So if you have cojones, if you have balls, collect all feedback. No discrimination is the only way you can actually improve. And by working for over 12 years in this experience of working as a Zendesk consultant, I have not seen anyone skip this and be successful. I have seen people be unsuccessful precisely because they don't collect the customer satisfaction for some types of tickets or at all. I'll say this again. Successful companies collect, they act, they fix, and then they grow. Everybody else, nuh-uh, they go under. By the way, my name is Dominic. I'm a customer experience enthusiast. I've been one for the past 15 plus years. This is my 12th year of doing Zendesk consultancy, and I don't do anything else. I love my job, and I'm here to help you achieve the best results with Zendesk to cater to your customer experience. Let's go. Okay, let's go to the 4 squares, admin center, and we're going to go to objects and rules, and we're going to scroll down here to customer satisfaction, and we're going to go get started, and we have 2 already created customer satisfaction triggers and 1 automation and 1 trigger, and they're inactive. We're just going to activate. That's it. Just easy as that. Activate. Now, these are going to be both working for messaging, so the chat that we enabled, and for email that we've also enabled. So now you're good to go. Okay, some final words in conclusion. I hope this helps you. Let me know in the comments if you need anything else. There's a plethora of options and features in Zendesk, and I know I cannot possibly have covered them all, but I hope this gives you a good outline on how you can use Zendesk to cater to lead collection and customer support. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.